everybody, it's John, your Indian Cine-MANIAC, wishing everybody a happy Independence Day. Yeah, I know not everybody celebrates Independence Day, but we do. We do. July 4th. Patriotic. Anyway, so here we go. So I decided a movie came up on my queue on Netflix. Now, you guys whine about this. You're like, why do you do that? They're usually bad movies, and sometimes you're right. So this came up, and I knew two of the actors in it. So I said, and one of them I really like. So I decided to watch Bade Miyan Chote Miyan from 2024. This was directed by Ali Abbas Zafar, and it stars Akshay Kumar, big fan of his, OMG, Cocky, Airlift, a bunch of other movies I've seen. Tiger Shroff, who I've only seen in one movie, War, with Hrithik Roshan. Banushi Chalar, Prithviraj Sukumaran, who was in Jana Mana. Alia F. Ronit Roy, who I just saw in Udan, and he was awful. I mean, he was good, but he was an awful person. And Thugs of Hindostan, which you all hate, but I really like. And Sonakshi Sinha was in Da Bang. Okay, so this film, this is I read the reviews after I watched the film. And some people really liked it. Most people hated it, and they gave it like a 1 or a 2. No, I can't give overall yet, right? So I got to talk about the story. The story is about two Indian soldiers, Freddie and Rocky, one older guy, one younger guy, who are elite soldiers, right? They're the best of the best. And they, through circumstances, they get court-martialed, and now they're out of the military. But they are needed because a bad guy in a mask who calls himself Doom, Dr. Doom, a reference to the Fantastic Four, Dr. Doom, I don't know, you decide, who steals a weapon that can destroy India, that will help China and Pakistan destroy India. Because India has, everyone knows Israel has the Iron Dome, right? Well, Israel has this kind of an Iron Dome that protects it from missiles from India, from Pakistan and China. So this weapon, and I'm doing this because I'm not going to spoil this film because it just came out. This weapon can drop the shield. So they have to recruit Freddie and Rocky back, played by Akshay and Tiger. And they're the only ones who can get the weapon back. So through the course of this film, you also find out that some other masked guys, gangsters, are working for the bad guy, pick these fights, but they can't be hurt. So when they get, like, at one point, the female agent stabs one of the guys and it heals like Wolverine. And their eyes get red and then they heal. So you can't kill these guys. So now the word metahuman gets thrown around. Metahuman, which is like X-Men, like the DC universe. So now what are we talking about, right? Then clones get brought into it. Clones. Indestructible clones get brought into it. So in the end, and there's no spoiling it. I mean, you know this. In the end, Freddie and Rocky save the day. That's pretty much the story. Now, I'm going to give the story a 2 because this has been in, any spy movie you ever see. James Bond, in like Flint, Matt Helm, any spy movie, this is always the story. Some bad guy steals something, someone's going to get it back. Now, so that's why I'm going to give the story a 2. Now, that doesn't mean I didn't enjoy it. Here's the thing about this film and why I really enjoyed this film. Okay. This is one of those films that you go into. I wasn't quite sure what it was going to be. Now, the trailer looked very tongue in cheek. right? And that was the thread of the movie. It never got super serious, which I'm totally okay with. Especially you guys, I mentioned on the last review that we just lost our dog of 13 years. So I needed to see something a little bit lighter in tone, and this definitely was that. So if you go into this film and accept what it is, it's an action adventure comedy, and you shut off half your brain and just kind of let it happen, I think you'll really enjoy this film. This is like one of those summer films. We call it a popcorn movie. You go to the movies, you shut off your brain, you watch it. It's not going to change the world, and it's not meant to. So if you understand that, then it's fine. Now the performances. I love Akshay Kumar. I think he's great. Was he a little long in the tooth for the role that he played? Probably, but I still think he was good. And Tiger Shroff, now he gets roasted for not being a good actor, and maybe he's not. The thing about Tiger Shroff is he hardly ever wears a shirt. And his fight choreography, I mean, the guy is like Bruce Lee. Uh, well, actually, more than Bruce Lee, because the stuff he does is pretty incredible. The flips and stuff he does. Um, but I liked their chemistry. It was funny. It was the young guy and the older guy. They're also giving each other the finger the whole movie. And I don't know if this is they did it on Netflix, and I assume it's the same thing in the movie theater. Do they blur it out in the movie theater? Because in Netflix they blurred it out. When they gave the finger, you wouldn't see it because it was blurred out. Is that a thing? But it was funny the way they did it. And the thing about Indian movies that I really do like is there are bromances, right? The men really do love each other, and it's not stupid, it's not awkward, it's just a guy thing, right? And in this movie, they were like that. They had like a I don't want to say father and son because Akshay's not that much. I think he's older than Tiger, but not like way older. It was more like an older brother and a younger brother. That's kind of what I thought of it. But I thought their banter was really good. Um, I think the best performance was actually by I want to get his name right, Prithviraj. Um, he doesn't show up. He shows up at the beginning, but you don't know who he is because he's wearing the mask. But once he shows up, I thought he was deliciously evil. And he did this thing. I read this that I thought they altered his voice digitally, but he actually did it. It was his voice that he altered, and it's really effective. And he was a powerful presence in this film, in the scenes that he was in. So I really liked him. Now the women in this were pretty gorgeous. Uh, and I think the best performance, and I mean again, performance. The girl who played the nerd, the tech woman, like she was really cute, but they had big glasses on her, and I think she's a lot prettier than they showed, but she was pretty girl. And then the agent, the female agent, Misha, was she was a little. I have to say, she was a little stiff, but she was beautiful, and the fight scene she did at the beginning of the film, I thought she did really really well. But it's the two guys and the bad guy, who make this film, and it was like you see Lethal Weapon, with Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. It was kind of like that kind of banter, which I really liked. And the action scenes. Look, the thing about this film, the action scenes were fantastic, all of them. The fight choreography. There was some things a little CGI-ish, definitely, but overall, they did a lot of practical stuff. I thought it was really well done. Again, it was very um, just a fun action movie. So I'm going to give the performances a three. Not great, but a couple things about this. So it starts off with a great opening ambush in the Himalayas. It's a great action scene. The way they steal this weapon and they introduce the Doom guy, the masked guy, and then when Misha's first introduced, it's in I don't know if it's in Shanghai. I think that's what I remember, and it's in a bar, but it's lit red, so it's really kind of strange. Um, and then, as always in these films, Rocky and Freddie's entrance. All the films with the lead actors, they always have great entrances. Well, you see the Indian flag like flapping in the wind, right? and then all of a sudden it moves just enough, and you see the two of them walking, right? And a lot of slow motion walking and running in this film, lots of it. Um, and by the way, the film Bade Miyan Chote Miyan is a title of another film from 1979 starring Amitabh Bachchan, which they actually show in this film. Now, completely unrelated stories, but that's where they got the code name. They based the code name for the mission, the rescue mission, on movies. And they picked one movie, I can't remember what it was, and they didn't like that one. So they went to another channel and it was showing this movie. That's how they came up with the mission title. Um, Oh, there was a line, Pam, the tech girl, when she first meets Rocky, played by Tiger, who's again, he's shirtless all the time. He's all sweated up. And the guy's jacked, okay? I mean, he just is. But when she first meets him, she says, your hotness is pro max. And then the rest of the film, she calls him G.I. Joe. Thought that was funny. Pam also calls Freddie, played by Akshay, the older guy, the oldster, as they call him, the goat, the greatest of all time, which of course we know is Tom Brady of the New England Patriots. I'm not even going to get into a discussion with you about that. Lots of fire, lots of explosions. Um, it was just a fun movie, and again, it's not going to change the world. It's not like this brilliant cinematic experience. It was just fun. It was like Commando or Rambo or those big action movies of the 80s. That's what it reminded me of. Um, and it was the first time I've seen in a movie where China was one of the bad guys. Pakistan's always the bad guys in these films, but it was China and Pakistan, which I found interesting. They also did a thing at the end. I'm not spoiling anything. They got to put in 3 passwords to deactivate or reactivate the dome. And that's kind of a fun scene, and they build up tension for that. And then, but again, performances I give a 3. Music, you know, this was weird because lately the movies I've been watching, the music, there's been a lot less music, and the musical numbers are done more organically, like they kind of fit. In this one, they didn't fit. They were good. Like the choreography was good. The scope of the numbers were good. It had a little, there were there, and it's because there's two of them. There was a couple scenes where they're directly out front, and it almost looked like a little takeoff of RRR, Natu, that number, a little bit of that. Um, and then they did one number at the closing credits in some location I didn't recognize with all these beautiful women and the guys. But I like the musical numbers. The incidental music, which I've been commenting on a lot. I really liked it. It fit this genre absolutely perfectly when they wanted to build tension, when there was action and stuff. So overall, I'm going to give the music a 3. Um, and then the music I give a 3. But overall, now please accept this for what it is. Okay, for the type of movie it is. Keep that in mind. I'm going to give the movie a 4. If you go into it with your expectations, like what this movie is, what it's supposed to do, I just don't see how you couldn't like it. Um, so that's why I'm going to give it a 4. It just reminded me of a movie you go see in the summer, an action adventure comedy. You won't remember it in a week, right? But you had a good time when you're watching it. And I definitely had a good time watching it because it had all kinds of different sci-fi elements, a little James Bond elements, Soldier of Fortune. But again, the action scenes were really, really well done. The fight choreography was great. And Tiger Shroff, man, that guy can move. Akshay didn't do a lot of moving, he did a lot of punching, but he wasn't like, now, if I give one critique of it, and this is typical in these type of films, including in the American films, you got 50 guys shooting at you and no one can hit you, right? You're picking off everybody, but no one can hit you. Okay, that's ridiculous. It's so unrealistic, but it is typical of these movies. So even though it's a critique, you expect that in these films. So anyway, So that's it. If you like a fun action movie and you like these two actors, I think you'll like this movie. So check it out, and I'm gonna go barbecue, maybe watch some fireworks. I don't know, because you know what? We live in the greatest country in the world. Now everybody says that. I know that, but you know what? I think we do have the greatest country in the world. I love this country. I love India too, and I'm so happy you guys won the World Cup. I am. I'm happy because it was a win-win for me. If USA won, I won. If India wins, I win. So it's a win-win. That's what America's all about. I won't even get into the presidential debate that I watched. I don't get political on this podcast, okay? But anyway, so that's it. I hope everyone has a happy Independence Day. You know, you guys, listen, I celebrate India's holidays. You can celebrate mine just one time, okay? But we're going to get a couple more out. I'm back with a vengeance. So that's it. We'll talk to you soon with another 10ish minute review. God bless America.